Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? I was just shooting a video not too long ago, I've got to put all this stuff away, about the least used tool in this particular tool trailer as far as power tools go. And it was a very good question that was asked on one of my previous videos. I have no idea exactly what that video was, but it was a good question. I had an answer, but the answer was a little bit more general, and I thought, well, why not definitively answer that by physically looking at the tools and seeing what's the least one used. In the end, after looking over all of the tools, and I pulled a few, the one that I have used the absolute 100% least, and it's a tool that I never actually reach for unless it's a tool of last resort, is actually this tool right here. In this case, it's the 20 volt right angle. It just seems to be underpowered, lack of torque, things like that. So this is the one. But the other question on the flip side of that is, what is the most used power tool that I have? And that's a good question as well. Let me put this other stuff away that I don't use very often, and let's check out and see what actually gets used the most. You can probably guess what it is. The most used power tool in this trailer with the selection that I have, I believe I have 30 plus 20 volt and 6 or 7 60 volt tools, DeWalt. So of all of this, what do I use the most? It really is no contest. It's no surprise to any contractor or handyman out there, and that is the impact driver right here. The impact driver for me is going to make it on pretty much every job that I do, unless it's specifically like a screwdriver, or I'm not doing anything where a screw has to be driven or a hole has to be drilled. If you get the hex head drill bits, you can drill holes with this, and I have before, especially in a pinch. Not necessarily go to, but in a pinch. Impact drivers are so used that I have not one, but I have 2 brushless. And fortunately, my brushed tool for my original kit that I purchased about 10 years ago is still going. 20 volt, my very first 20 volt kit. They were all brushed tools. And so this is still going, and so I have 3 impact drivers. And one driver literally goes with me, I think, on every job, again, with the minor exception. After that, then, what is the second most used tool? That's going to be a contest between some kind of a drill. This one happens to be just an atomic 20 volt regular drill. It's not a hammer drill. Or it's going to be some kind of a saw. Now this is my go-to workhorse of a saw. It's the 6.5 inch blade right here. This is the new brushless version. I had been using my brushed tool from that very same kit from years and years ago. I realized a while back, when I was grabbing a circular saw, that was the one I was grabbing almost exclusively. Even though I had a few other circular saws to choose from, that was the one I was grabbing. And so I decided to replace it with a brushless version, so I kind of updated it. And the brushed tool is the only 20 volt tool that I'm aware of that I actually retired to my walkout basement workshop, which is in there. All my 18 volts went that way. Almost all of my quarter tools went that way as well. And that saw is in there, and that saw has 2 batteries with it. They're both Whateleys, one on the tool and one as a backup if I'm working at the house and I have a charger in there. Otherwise, this is my workhorse, but it's going to be then between a drill and, drilling things and sawing things. And probably the saws get used more than the drills do. After that, you can make a case for, are you talking miter box? Are you talking table saw? Or are you talking circular? And if you're talking circular, is it especially circular like a track saw or a blade left or a blade right or a size blade or whatever? That's all details, but I believe cutting things is a priority when you're building. Pretty much that would answer what is the most common, what is the most used tool, and by far. Right, by far. And then there are a couple of second places right in here that are tied, maybe 2, maybe 3 different tools that are tied for second place. Thank you very much for sticking with me, folks. Easy question to answer on that one. If you would like to subscribe, you're helping the channel grow. It's free to you and it really helps me out, so thank you for that. Otherwise, ring that bell if you want to get notified when I drop videos. I'm not on any regular schedule. With that notification, you can decide if you want to watch that next video whenever that future video is. Otherwise, I would ask you to please have a great day because you deserve it, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hey, B-roll footage question. Is a battery a tool? And if so, then the real answer to the most commonly used tool for, I think, anyone running a cordless system is the battery. And maybe even with that, it's the battery in combination with the charger. I don't know. Is that a cheat? Is that I'm thinking too hard about it? But as right here, without these, this doesn't go. I can make the sound all day long, but I'm going to have to manually turn it in order to get that screw to go in. Doing this does absolutely nothing. So, battery.